What's up guys, Patrick Huffman here. Welcome to another top 10 list. And it's not a top 10, but it's a top 5. Anyways, let's kick it off.
Ready?
Number 5 comes from Megaman X5. See what I did there? Anyways, one of the main villains of the game is Dynamo. He started the whole Eurasia thing, or the whole Eurasia falling down into Earth, and ends up spreading the Sigma virus. Anyways, after I believe the first or second boss, Dynamo tells you, "Hey, I'm Dynamo, motherfuckers, and I'm here to fuck shit up." And when you fight Dynamo, it's really cool because he asks for Zero, basically. He doesn't ask for he asks for X, but honestly, it's basically a rival fight against Zero. His attack pattern is really easy to do, and there's actually a little exploit in the attack as to where all you have to do to dodge most of his attacks is just jump over him, keep slashing, jump over him, keep slashing. You're never gonna get hit. The theme itself is kick-ass. The guitar in it just fits him for who he is. Even though he started the whole game off by basically killing everyone, he does have a cool personality, so he's number 5 for that reason. He's also in Megaman X6, so, you know, I guess that's a redeemable factor of that shitty game. Number 4. For number 4, we're going to jump all the way back to the first Mega Man X game. And no, I'm not going to talk about Sigma. I'm going to talk about Vile. So Vile is probably the most iconic boss in that game because of the scenario at hand. The first level, you fight Vile in his little mech armor, and you're no match for him, and Zero even tells you that. You spend the entire game upgrading yourself so you can be better than Zero, and heck, even better than Vile, because Zero is better than Vile, and Vile is better than X. So you want to make yourself better than Zero. So you spend the entire game doing that, and when you get to Sigma's headquarters, and you catch up to Vile, Zero and Vile start fighting, and when you get to this long corridor, you see Vile in his mech, and he has Zero caged up. And of course, fighting Zero in that mech suit, he beats you. And right before he's about to do the finishing blow on you, Zero busts out of the cage and sacrifices himself. He basically detonates himself to destroy the mech armor. Vile says it's pointless, in which the fight begins. He's weak to the shell armor. I think that was a shell shield. I forget what it was. He comes from the Armadillo stage, I know that. But you just use that shield and he's basically done. His attack pattern is extremely easy. He's gonna freeze you in place and then he's gonna shoot you. He's gonna jump over you while trying to shoot you. And when you hit the finishing get the finishing blow on him, you end up running past where you fought Vile, and you see the remains of Zero just lying on the floor, and he tells you, you're now basically better than me. Go kick Sigma's ass. That is one of the most heart-wrenching moments in X series, because for the first time, Zero's dies. Of course, he dies a few more times in the series, but this one was the first time, and it was very emotional to us fans. Vile, you 6'6" son of a bitch. Number 3 is the final boss from Mega Man X5, Gamma Sigma. Okay, so let's talk about Gamma Sigma here for a bit. First off, it actually shows that an old man that Zero once knew helped him build his Mew body. This is actually really cool because he basically says, "Hey, guess what? Your creator, Dr. Wily, he's somehow still alive, and he fucking built me this new body. That body is the same body as Gamma, the final boss from Mega Man 3, the classic game, Mega Man." It's really cool because when you're fighting him as Zero, he says that, and you're just like, wait a second. He's alive? Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But yes, he is somehow alive. When you fight him as X, you know, you just get that. For both gameplay perspectives here, the fight is fair, but it is challenging, as a final boss should be. This is how a good boss is when you actually have good attack patterns that you can read after attempt after attempt after attempt, but soon you'll get it down and it'll be fun to fight. I've beaten him, of course, and it's one of my favorite fights in the game and one of my favorite fights in the franchise. But Gamma Sigma, you rock. If only it was a fitting ending to the franchise too, because Zero ultimately does die and he goes out with a good bang too. After Zero and X are done fighting him, Sigma basically shoots a hole through Zero, and Zero basically with the bottom half of him gone basically destroys Sigma. And then after that, he completely dies. That was how the game was, or how the franchise was supposed to end. If only Keiji Inafune would have gotten his way, we got Mega Man X6. I fucking hate that game, by the way, guys. Number 2. I'm not gonna try and repeat myself as much as I did beforehand, but this was number 2 on the original list, and this is number 2 on this list. X vs. Zero. I'm not really going to go into much detail about this fight because I've already talked about it, but basically I'm just gonna summarize it a bit here. The symbolism in this fight is amazing. It's best friends fighting for what they believe in. X thinks that Zero is gone maverick. Zero thinks that it's too dangerous for X to be traveling in this cyberspace. And the attacks for each character definitely reflect their actual moves. You feel like you're fighting a character you've been playing as through the entire game, and I love it. So, I'm not really going to go into much detail about this fight. You're already seeing it down there, but, you know, yeah. Omega. Omega is by far one of the best bosses in any game. I got done beating him last week, and after making the last countdown, I was like, wow, how did I forget about freaking Omega? Let's start off with the first fight of the game. In the first level, you fight Omega. His attack pattern is extremely easy, yeah, and slow. It's easy to dodge, but it gets you ready for the final boss. It shows you, hey, this is gonna be one of his attacks. You better remember this, even though you won't. Then when you get to the final boss, he has 3 phases. The first phase is just a golden version of the first boss you fought, except he has the same attack where it's sped up. He has another attack where he takes out a gigantic pink holographic spear thing and stabs it into the ground. And then he has a 3-round burst where he decides to try and snipe you. He'll basically shoot in the area you're standing or in the air at, and he'll try to shoot you, and they will bounce off the ground, so you better be prepared for that. The second phase is definitely harder than the first phase. Let's not forget the fact that he's gigantic. He has 3 attacks again, yeah, but the thing is though, is the platform is smaller, and there's actually a bottomless pit to the right. the main gimmick about this phase of the fight is you want to keep running. If you don't keep running, you're dead. He has 3 attacks here. The first one is where it's a homing shot, where it'll follow you, sort of, and it'll move horizontally and vertically only to try and hit you. The second attack is where he just shoots a 3-round plasma burst at you along the ground, where you have to dash jump over. The third attack is where the Zero head, the X head, and the Omega head fire at one part of the platform, and you just have to dodge it. Now, the third part of the fight is where this gets symbolic, and is where this boss really makes it feel like it's better than X versus Zero. Zero versus X. First off, you're fighting in the first area of the first Mega Man Zero game, where Zero was awakened. Remember why this is symbolic. Remember that. So anyways, Dr. Wild, the basically main antagonist of the game, basically tells you, you're a mere fake. When Seal woke you up in that chamber, you were a fake. Sure, you might have the same capabilities as the old Zero, but you aren't the same Zero. In fact, Omega is the original Zero. After the rubble from Omega blows away, the original Zero pops out, and I just sat there like, shit! It was really, like, cool, though, to see that, because when have you ever been able to fight, when have you been able to fight yourself as a final boss, nonetheless? Just from a symbolic standpoint, think about it like this: it's a fake versus a copy, the heart versus the body versus the brain. I like to think of it as the brain versus the heart. But anyways, let's get on to the battle here, because I'm starting to ramble on a little bit too much. He has the same exact moveset as he had from the X franchise. He has the same exact attacks. He has his dash swipe. He has his double jump. He has his aerial sword slash, and he has his Giga attacks. Notice how I said attacks. In every Mega Man game, he's only had 1 Giga attack. Well, now he has 2. One of them shoots freaking pillars of light, or laser pillars throughout the stage, and the second one is his Giga attack from, I believe, X6, I think. I did beat him rather quickly, though, and I don't know if he has any more Giga attacks. So if he does, then just let me know. But just think about it like this: he has Giga attacks of his own. The theme that plays during these, or the themes that play during these boss battles are awesome. The Omega battle theme is awesome. Or the first phase, which is called the Omega battle, is awesome. It fits in. Judgment Day, the second phase, basically saying, hey, Omega's bringing judgment on your ass. It is now Judgment Day, you fake. And then the last one is Cannonball, which is what you've been listening to this entire time. I can't say how much I love Cannonball. It fits the fact that it's Zero versus Zero. So anyways, after the fight, the 3 remaining remnants of X's body, Harpuya, Leviathan, and shit, I can't remember the last one. They all gather together to disable the Dark Elf's shield on Zero. And then the spirit of X shows up, and they all tell you, this is it. Make the final blow. Wild tries telling you, do you really want to stay inside that fake body of yours? You're not the real one. And then X informs you, while yes, the body isn't the real Zero, you have the mind and the brain of the original Zero is inside of him. So knowing that, you get one last strike on Omega Zero, and with that the fight ends. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any other Mega Man bosses that you thought that I left out here, then leave it in the comments section below. And if you like this video and you like the rest of the content on our channel, then go on ahead and subscribe. And if you like this video, then make sure to leave it a like, give it a thumbs up, share it among your friends. Leave a comment suggesting what the next top 10 list should be. It could be top 20, top 10, top 5, I don't care. I just need some suggestions, guys. So, I'm Patrick Huffman. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Top 10. Bye-bye!